The ratings are in for Monday Night Raw, and the good news is that they are up on last week's, but unfortunately, they are not up by much. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. The Raw ratings have been released, and Monday Night Raw sees a slight increase of viewership with 1.784 million viewers turning in to watch Monday Night Raw. Now, it is up slightly on last week's by 3%, and it is also up on the last 4 weeks as well by 5%. So Raw slightly up, heading in the right direction. I think you would expect this, the penultimate Raw before WrestleMania. Obviously, the viewers you would expect to go up, probably a little bit more though, to be honest. But what I thought was interesting was that there was no segment, there was no quarter on this show that was higher rated than CM Punk's last week. Now, I did have someone in the comments bashing CM Punk, saying that CM Punk is not a draw, claiming that people only tuned in for that segment because The Rock was on the show, and they tuned in hoping that The Rock would be there, and instead they got CM Punk. Well, what a load of shite, because the quarter-by-quarter ratings show that The Rock opened up the first two segments just like he did last week. Rock was a part of the first two segments last week. He was a part of the first two segments this week. Yet this week, the 9 o'clock segment, the fifth quarter, that didn't get the big ratings increase that last week got. Why is that? I'll tell you why it is. Because CM Punk wasn't here tonight. So we will do a breakdown of the Raw quarterly hours. I'll probably upload that in a few hours. But no, I mean, it's an okay rating for Raw, but nothing here beat what CM Punk done. If you look at the videos from last week, CM Punk still got the highest viewed video at 2.1 million. Both The Rock's vids are 1.9 million. Am I claiming that Punk's a bigger draw than The Rock? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to have people sit here and lie and say that CM Punk is not a draw whatsoever and CM Punk fluked those numbers just because The Rock was on the show. Bullshit. The Rock was on this show and nothing did 2.2. So, is what it is, guys. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Quick video here giving you the viewerships. Is there anything else to talk about? The demographic. Demographic was 0.59, which is up 4% on last week's, and it's up 6% on the previous 4 weeks as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. In general, though, Raw is not doing as well as it did last year. The last couple of years, in fact. Raw's just, you know what, I just think people just aren't really as infested with wrestling. It could be that. Because what is kind of interesting with Raw is the demographic is up from last year, but the viewership is down. So we have more people between 18 and 49 watching, but we have less people overall. Is that because of The Rock? Is that fans of The Rock that watched him in the Attitude Era? And even though wrestling as a whole, in general, there's less people watching it because the product just seems to get worse and worse every year, but maybe with The Rock being back, we have that key demographic, that demographic that was around when The Rock was around. Because, like, I mean, if you were, let's say you're watching The Rock when you were, let's say, the 2000s, 99, 98, let's say you're 20, you know, you're still only going to be like 40 here, so you would fit into this demographic, you know. So what I'm thinking is, the demo's up, so I'm thinking it's older fans maybe coming back because The Rock's there. That's probably what I'm thinking, but overall the viewership is down, because I do think it's interesting, pretty much for every week the viewership is down based on the past couple of years, but at the same time, almost every single week the demographic is up on what it was in the previous few years. So, you know, it doesn't add up. I mean, it could just be a mega coincidence, but there's definitely more people between 18 to 49 watching than they were in the past couple of years. But overall, viewership's down. So, less people, I don't know, could it just be the kids have tuned out, the older people have tuned out, and maybe the people that are coming back are people that were watching The Rock? That's a possibility. Of course, there's no way to actually know that. It's just something that I'd noticed when looking at the numbers here, and I thought it was pretty interesting. But yeah, like I said, up, 3%? Still can't break into the 1.8. It's sad times, Monday Night Raw now, where you can't even, you know, you're lucky if you hit 2 million. I think Raw, probably on average over the last, maybe 3-4 years, How many times has Raw hit 2 million? Not a lot. You know, you're talking maybe a handful of times a year. It is sad. 2 million this week with it being the penultimate show for WrestleMania, but I guess not. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Being Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.